Well, good morning, Todd. Thank you for having me on. I just want to say, first of all, my condolences to the family. This is horrific, and I couldn't imagine being in this position. But I want you to look at this video. I looked at it from a police officer's standpoint. And in this video, what I saw was a group of men who had not only done this to this young man, Mr. Nichols, but it looked like they'd done this before. You know, it was how they empowered each other and what we as police officers call attaboys after the chase, and you know how they looked at it when they finally put him under arrest as he was leaning against that car and they were talking. These people had done this before. They had empowered each other. This video shows that they saw the situation, and then they did this egregious beating of this man, and it still took forever to call an ambulance, seeing that he was laying over, and they said, oh, he was just high. Did you see him grab for my gun? Those were just little idiosyncrasies that I noticed as a police officer, and I thought, yeah, this wasn't the first time that this has happened. This is just the first time they've gotten caught.
Well, if we reduce or eliminate qualified immunity, we're going to have an even more critical problem bringing people to this profession. We're not going to have police officers anymore. People need to understand what qualified immunity means. It doesn't mean we can just act insanely like these 5 men did. It means that we have protections from frivolous lawsuits when we're doing our job. Look, this is not police culture. I've been in the police culture for 45 years.
This is thug culture.
And the previous guest is correct. This is thug culture. These men have done this before. They've gotten away with it before. We need to look at this police department, Memphis PD, from the top down, because where were the supervisors? Where was the leadership? In this specialty unit, if you're walking around in a black hoodie, you better be ultra professional and ultra restrained. And that's not what we saw here. Let's not attack the entire profession like we did after George Floyd because of the horrible crimes of a few.
I'm glad you mentioned.
Okay, so what you're telling me is what I already knew, and what most of us should have already knew if you ain't been living under a damn rock, right? And what that is the moment that this situation with this young man happened, Tyre, and the world found out it was black officers, those black officers stopped becoming officers and became black men. And we know this landmaster's viewpoint on black men. So these police officers are going to get the book thrown at them because they're not officers. These is niggas. They became niggas the moment that the world found out there was 5 black men. This is a group of niggas. You understand me? This is why this white woman called this situation a thug culture. Now the police is a thug culture. But when Derek and the rest of these heathens right here killed George Floyd, or Sandra Bland, or all these other police officers, it wasn't a thug culture then. What changed? The skin tone. So we have a white woman deeming 5 black police officers as a representation of the whole legal system. She called it a thug culture. So the police department is and this is coming from a white woman now, is a thug culture. So when we say that they're the biggest gangs out, we would be right? Okay. But the point of this video was to show for those motherfuckers living under a rock, it's a thug culture when black men do something wrong. Now it's gangs and thugs and heathens and savages and blah blah blah. But when these white boys do it, there's no thug culture, there's no gang activity, there's no, well, they were only police officers because the department lowered its standards so they can get, there was none of that. Now it's a color game and it's not a color game. In this instance, they associated black men with thugs and criminals. Yes, they committed some crimes. Yes, they murdered people. They murdered this young man. But I want you to take note of how the story and the narrative changes depending on your complexion. With that being said, I love y'all. Peace.
Shout out my man King Oz. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to King Oz's YouTube channel. A lot of great content, good discussions, and a lot of eye-opening information from true and honest perspectives. Make sure you get your little book of
blessings, family, and salute to the God King Oz, a dope brother, a woke brother, father, and an author of the little book of everything. Do me a favor, man. Join the family, tell a friend to tell a friend, like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself.
And I want to give a silverback shout out to my brother King Dumas on this little book of everything. And it's packed from page to page with nothing but information that the people in the community needs. I don't know how he decided what goes in this book for each individual that he personally writes one for, but he knocked mine out of the park. Thank you, Brother King Dumas, and everybody should have this little book of everything. Nothing but information. Thank you, brother. Much love.
Y'all know who it is, Elijah Lamar, tapping in from the BMF TV series. I need everybody to go ahead and subscribe to King Oz's page right now. KINGOZ, King Oz. Dude got great content and dope information for you to go ahead and take in. Trust me, you won't regret it. Subscribe.